Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and today I want to talk to you guys about something that always makes me laugh. I find it ironic. It's silly and it's a counterintuitive argument. And that's an argument that people make who want to get bigger, they want to get stronger, they want to be as jacked as they can be while on a really busy schedule. They say they work or school and all that combined is 60 or more hours per week because of overtime and things. And they say, well, I just don't have enough time to do full body type training. That's why I do a split routine. And the irony there is that a split routine actually usually takes more time. It's usually less efficient with your time in the gym. And it's in part due to the fact that you tend to do extra movements that aren't necessarily a good bang for your buck for minutes spent in the gym. So here's an example of what I mean. And let's say you're a person who you have a 12-hour work day or 12-hour school day, Monday through Friday. And let's say you have another 8 hours on Saturday. And yet, so that's 68 hours that you have to contribute to either work or school. You don't have the free time that a lot of people have. So what could you do if you wanted to make efficient use of your time? You want to get as big and as strong as possible. You could easily, with nothing more but something like this, a pair of Vibrams, and some liquid grip on your keychain. That's your whole gym bag right there. That's all the accessories you need, minimum changing. There are quick routines you could do on your way to work or during your lunch break at work, on your way home from work, or even in a rec facility at your gym with the most basic of equipment. And a lot of people, if they are on very tight schedules, if they're smart, they join a gym that is on their route to work. So that it's actually on the way to and from work. A lot of people have some actually somewhat decent facilities at work to train with. And a lot of university students have access to at least a pretty decent rec center and gym on their campus that they could go hit during a lunch break or something between classes. So if a person was really strapped for time and they could only spare 15 minutes, if you spare 15 minutes, what you could walk into the gym and do while in your clothes, all you'd have to do is change your shoes. It doesn't matter whether you're in shorts and a t-shirt or whether you are in dress slacks with a shirt and a tie. You take your jacket off. Depending on what your work or school attire is, you could walk in, you could come in, you could do 1 to 2 warm-up sets tops for singles. That's 2 minutes. On deadlifts, all you need is to change shoes, put your liquid chalk on. That's 1 minute. 2 minutes of warm-ups. That's 3 minutes. You could walk in and do 3 singles with 85 to 90% on the deadlift, 2 minutes apart. You're now up to 9 minutes. You could walk over to a power rack with a chin-up station on it. You could throw a chain over your neck or a loop on a belt, do a set of heavy weighted chin-ups. 30 seconds later, you could do a heavy set of either strict overhead press or a set of push press, or even something like behind the neck push presses. Go back and do another set of weighted chin-ups 30 seconds later, or you could just do 1 set of unweighted chin-ups, just bodyweight chin-ups to failure. Go over and do another set of your push press or standing press. Put your other shoes back on, wash your hands, and be out the door in 15 minutes. That takes 15 minutes. If you don't have that much time, and it's not easy for you to ensure that you get a rack, and all you have is the bar on the floor, and you're very strapped, you could load up, do the same thing on deadlifts, and remember, you could even do a single 3 to 5 rep set. You could strip the plates down a bit, clean it up into position, and do at least 5 rep sets. Any weight that you can do 5 reps with on an overhead press or even a behind the neck push press or more, you should be able to clean up into position, which will also give you some more workload. You could do your set of that. You could put the weight back down, at least leave 145 on each side so that you can use smaller plates to build the weight, do pin lay rows, strip the weights back down. By the time the weights are stripped back down, do the overhead press again, strip them back down, do your pin lay rows, put your weights up, be out the door. That could be done in as quick as 10 to 12 minutes, maybe 10 minutes. That's how fast you could do a workout like that without even changing clothes. You have just had a full body training session that, if you look at it honestly, if you did that 3, 4, 5 days a week, let's say all of your Monday through Friday, whichever one you could squeeze it in to a lunch break or on your way to and from the gym, and even with parking, you're looking at 20 minutes or less taken out of your work day. So if you've done a 12-hour work day, hour lunch, another 12 minutes added on, that's only 13 hours, 20 minutes, not counting your commute. So even people who work extreme hours like that could just squeeze something like that in easily. And particularly if you get an hour-long work lunch break, you have a weight room at the office, you could do something like that. It's insanely easy. And then if someone says, well, I really need squat and bench press, and the thing is that the reason I didn't include those because those take longer to warm up. They oftentimes require more equipment, oftentimes more belts, changing more shoes, wrist wraps, and again, more warm-up time to do them safely. You could take your one Saturday then and come in for an hour and do a volume on those, and the strength and the muscle you build off the other lifts will carry over to those. So they'll still give you those, and you have one good day of volume to build the motor patterns for those lifts. You have now effectively trained every single muscle in your body for good hypertrophy. You have great muscle protein synthesis. You have trained for very high levels of strength. If someone who's already trained a little bit came and did something like that every week on a very, very strict schedule for a year, they would probably be one of the biggest and strongest men walking around. Compared to the average gym goer, that would put you to a point where you have a superior amount of muscle mass and a superior amount of strength to most people who work out at the gym regularly. That's all it would take. And it's because you've cut all the fluff and the bullshit out and said, what can I do that's the most efficient use of my time to get the maximum results? It's that simple. All right, guys, that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it has been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time. But let me give you guys a bicep shot before I go. Oh, Mount Vesuvius.